Have you ever woken up one morning after a major failure and felt like all the energy inside you had disappeared? Not just sadness, but a deeper feeling, like your engine simply stopped running. Maybe your business collapsed, your career took a hit, or personal plans you worked on for years suddenly fell apart. And now, even simple tasks feel heavy. People tell you to stay positive or try again, but inside, you feel empty. For many people over 30, this feeling hits harder than expected. At this stage of life, responsibilities are real. Families depend on you. Bills don't wait. And society quietly expects you to have everything figured out already. So when failure happens, motivation doesn't just dip. Sometimes it disappears completely. And when motivation disappears, life feels stuck. Days become routine survival instead of progress. Dreams feel distant, and even small goals seem pointless. Some people stay in this state for months, even years, not because they are lazy or incapable, but because they don't know how to restart. In this conversation, we're going to talk about 5 practical methods anyone can use to restart life after failure, even when motivation feels completely gone. These are not complicated success formulas. They are simple mental and daily actions that help rebuild energy slowly and realistically. And the first thing many people misunderstand is believing motivation must come before action. In reality, action usually comes first. When people lose motivation, they wait to feel inspired before doing anything. They think, I'll start looking for opportunities when I feel ready. But readiness rarely appears on its own. I once spoke with a man who lost his job and spent months waiting for motivation to return. He watched videos, read articles, and kept telling himself he would act once he felt better. But nothing changed until one day he forced himself to take a small action. He simply updated his resume and sent it to 2 companies. That tiny step didn't immediately fix his life, but it gave him a small sense of movement. The next day, he applied again. Slowly, motivation began to return, not because life improved instantly, but because action created momentum. When motivation is gone, don't wait. Start with the smallest possible action. Clean your desk. Walk outside. Send one message. Finish one small task. Movement creates energy, not the other way around. And as people begin moving again, even in small ways, they often realize another hidden problem draining motivation: overwhelming goals. After failure, many people either give up on goals completely or try to fix everything at once. They tell themselves they must rebuild career, finances, relationships, and personal health all at the same time. This pressure becomes exhausting. A woman once told me she felt paralyzed after her business closed because she believed she needed to rebuild everything quickly to prove she wasn't a failure. Instead of progress, she felt constant anxiety. Eventually, she changed her approach. She focused only on finding stable income first. Once that improved, she worked on other parts of life step by step. Breaking life into manageable priorities helped her regain confidence. When restarting life, focus on one small area first. Trying to fix everything immediately often destroys motivation before progress begins. As these small improvements appear, another emotional barrier often surfaces: the fear of failing again, which quietly blocks future effort. Fear after failure is natural. Once life knocks you down, your brain tries to protect you from future pain. It whispers, "Don't try again. What if it goes wrong once more?" This fear slowly drains motivation because every opportunity feels risky. People start avoiding chances not because they lack ability, but because they want to avoid disappointment. A man who lost money investing once refused to try any new opportunity for years. He stayed in an unfulfilling job simply because it felt safe. Only when financial pressure forced him to explore side work did he realize his previous failure had taught him valuable lessons. Instead of repeating the same mistake, he made smarter decisions and slowly rebuilt confidence. Another practical method to restart life is changing how you see failure. Instead of treating it as proof of weakness, see it as experience gained. Failure becomes dangerous only when nothing is learned from it. And while fear affects motivation, there is another silent energy drain many people overlook: isolation. After setbacks, people often withdraw. They feel embarrassed or ashamed, so they avoid friends, colleagues, or social gatherings. Days become lonely, and loneliness deepens hopelessness. A woman who went through career failure once told me her recovery began when she started meeting old friends again. Casual conversations led to freelance work opportunities she never expected. More importantly, she stopped feeling alone. Connection restores emotional energy. Restarting life becomes easier when you speak with people, share struggles, or simply spend time with supportive friends. Humans recover faster together than alone. And once social connection returns, many people notice another habit that quietly destroys motivation: constant comparison with others. Scrolling through social media, seeing others succeed, travel, or celebrate achievements can make you feel even further behind. But comparison hides reality. You see highlights, not struggles. A friend once envied classmates who seemed successful online. Years later, he discovered many of them were dealing with debt or career stress he never knew about. Your journey is different. Comparing timelines only steals energy needed for your own progress. As people stop comparing and reconnect with others, they begin noticing motivation slowly returning. But one final adjustment often makes the biggest difference in maintaining progress. And that final shift changes how people view themselves during difficult periods. At some point during recovery, people face a quiet but powerful realization. They are not failures. They are people who experience failure. That difference matters more than it seems. Many adults tie their identity to career success or financial stability. So when setbacks happen, they don't just lose income or opportunities. They lose confidence in themselves. Restarting life requires separating who you are from what happened to you. A man who lost his company once told me he felt worthless afterward. But when he reflected honestly, he realized he was still hardworking, creative, and resilient. The business failed, not his entire character. When people remember their strengths, motivation slowly rebuilds because hope returns. Another powerful method anyone can use is creating small daily wins. Large achievements feel distant after failure, but small successes restore belief. Waking up early, finishing tasks, exercising briefly, or learning something new creates proof that progress is still possible. Momentum doesn't come from dramatic victories. It grows from small, repeated successes. And as these small wins accumulate, life begins moving again. Opportunities appear, confidence strengthens, and goals feel reachable once more. Remember, even the smallest changes today can make a huge difference in your future. Restarting life after failure is not about rushing back to success. It is about patiently rebuilding energy, confidence, and direction step by step. If you're going through a difficult period right now, consider sharing your experience in the comments. Many others are facing similar struggles, and sometimes reading someone else's story gives the courage to keep going. And if this conversation helped you feel less alone or more motivated to take your next step, please like this video and subscribe to the channel so we can continue growing together and supporting each other through life's challenges. No matter how stuck things feel today, your story isn't finished. Motivation can return, progress can restart, and new opportunities can still appear when you decide to move forward again. Wishing you strength to rise after setbacks, courage to try once more, and success as you build a new and better chapter ahead in your life.